Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Splatt. Today is video number 14 in our series of 20 previewing the 2012-2013 English Premier League season. Today we're going to be talking about Stoke City. This video is being recorded just after watching the Community Shield final, by the way, which Manchester City won, beating Chelsea 3-2. Very quick thoughts on that. Bit of an interesting game, but obviously there are things that both sides need to work on as they head into the new season. In particular for Chelsea, their defence, although in fairness they were 1-0 up when they had a man sent off. So an interesting game, just good to have some football back on, even if it is with two teams that I don't really like that much. Anyway, Stoke, this is your video, so let's get on to it. Stoke City finished last season. Now that they're one of the ever-present sides in the Premier League, it seems. They've really established themselves. They got 14th spot, 45 points. Never really in any relegation danger, and Tony Pulis managed to, keep this side battling and remain a good, solid mid-table side, even if maybe they did underperform last season, although that is to be expected when they were in the Europa League, obviously, and made it to the knockout stages only to be knocked out by Valencia. And let's face it, the third best Spanish team behind Madrid and Barcelona, is no shame in Stoke going out to them. But now that they don't have the distractions of the Europa League, I can see Stoke doing much better this season. And it also helps they've made a couple of handy signings. Recently they have signed Michael Kiteley from Wolverhampton Wanderers for an undisclosed fee. Now, I'm a bit of a Michael Kiteley fan. I think injuries have played a big part in him not really sort of coming on and really establishing himself in that Wolves team. And I do think that now that he's got this second chance at Stoke and now that he's injury free, I reckon we could see a really good season from Michael Kiteley here. I think Tony Pulis is certainly the right man to bring him in and sort of try and enhance him, and also I think that Stoke are the right team for him. I think obviously he's got some good front men to aim at with some of those crosses, in particular of course Peter Crouch, so should be very interesting to see what happens, and of course Ken Wyn-Jones as well, so we'll just have to see what happens there, but I could see Kiteley doing well. And I think Jamie Ness, who they got for a free, another player to leave the sinking ship that was Rangers up in Scotland, could prove to be quite an important player. Indeed, I reckon he could be a very good midfielder, but it just remains to be seen if Tony Pulis can unlock the Ness monster. Terrible pun that, but it's one of mine, so I'm pretty happy with it. In terms of the players they've let go, Stoke have let go 4 players so far. Danny Collins has left, as has Andrew Davis, Matt Lunn, and Jonathan Woodgate. Woodgate going back to Middlesbrough on a free. His time at Stoke lasting just a season and not really working out, unfortunately, for him and for Stoke. But, he gave it his best, and we'll just have to see if he can do any better down in the Championship, the former Real Madrid centre-back. It still surprises me, that. So, what have Stoke got to work with? Well, they've got I reckon they've got a pretty half-decent team here. I mean, Asimir Begovic is certainly a very capable goalkeeper, and of course he's got Thomas Sorensen challenging him for that first-team spot, so I think they're pretty well covered in the goalkeeping department, certainly better served than a lot of other teams in the Premier League. Obviously, defensively, they've still got Robert Huth, who I think has been an excellent pickup and still continues to be, I reckon, maybe their best defender. Of course, as we mentioned before, Ken Wyn-Jones and Peter Crouch, pretty handy forwards, and Crouch, in my opinion, scored goal of the season last year, and who'd have thought a Stoke player would be doing that? But there you go. They certainly have got very good forwards. They've also got Ryan Shawcross in the defence alongside Huth. A lot of people rate Shawcross very highly, and I happen to think he's developing into a fine young centre-back, and he may attract attention from the bigger boys in the near future. I'm aware, obviously, he's a former United player coming through United's academy. I don't think he'll end up back there, but certainly someone like a Liverpool or a Tottenham could come a-calling one of these days. So I think the longer Stoke hold on to him, the better for them, because he's a cracking defender. They've also got they're fairly well served in the midfield. Jonathan Walters sort of drifts between there and the forward line. I think he's certainly a very adaptable player, who they'll be hoping to make more of. Jermaine Pennant seems to have even found his level and a club that's right for him, and boy, that's been a tricky fit. I think the one player that sort of dropped off in the last season, though, was Rory Delap, but in fairness, he is getting on in years now. He's into his mid-30s, and aside from those massive throw-ins, I'm not sure he offers a lot technically. So I think the arrival of Ness is certainly going to be a useful one for Stoke, just to try and freshen things up in there. And of course they've got Matthew Everington, a very, very good winger, who I think just continues to impress. This is a solid little team with a very good manager at the helm in Tony Pulis, and I think they're going to have a better season this year without the Europa League distractions. Assuming that they don't sign anyone else, I think the 2 players they have brought in are good. I don't think they're going to miss the players that they've let go or seen sold. I could see Stoke finishing in the top 10. I've actually got them down as finishing 10th, and yeah, all power to them. Hopefully this will be another good season for the Potters. Very difficult to break down. Some say they might not play the best football, but I don't think the Stoke fans will really care so long as they're staying in the league comfortably and winning a few games. So there you go. My prediction for Stoke this season is that they'll be finishing solidly and comfortably mid-table, probably 10th. Okay then, that is all for today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow when we will be talking about another team that play in red and white stripes. Sunderland, of course. Yes, the Black Cats will be previewing their first full season under Martin O'Neill. So, until then, bye-bye.